Hey guys, my name is Erin and this is The Writer Scene. Today I actually wanted to tell you about one of my not so happy encounters with an acquaintance when it came to my release of my first book. Pretty much the days Aaron fell. I should not have blocked my mouth when I did that. This is going to be, I guess, a cute little story about how people are not gonna act or react the way you expect them to. This was freshly right after I had published this book on CreateSpace, like most people do, and I had finally gotten some hard copies for myself that I could take to school, show my friends, hey, I actually finished my novel and published it. Do you want a copy? This is what the book's about. I write fantasy, all the basic marketing things, pretty much harmless. So me and my boyfriend had just arrived to school. We went to the cafeteria to meet up with our friends. Since I was really excited, I literally ran up to my closest friends and I told them, and the more people that I was acquainted with or had been friends with pretty much since high school eventually came through the cafeteria, since it's a really heavily trafficked area. People were coming through the cafeteria, and if I thought they would be interested in my fantasy book, I would tell them about it, obviously. This is something I really don't tell people, but it is the first thing that I have ever finished in life. I am a Pisces. I do not finish things that I start, but this was the first thing that I started and had actually finished, so I was very proud of it and very excited to take it to new people and share my experience with the whole process, honestly. Eventually, one of my acquaintances that I had known since freshman year pretty much had come through the cafeteria, and I knew this acquaintance of mine was a writer. I guess I naively thought that they would be excited for me. That was a mistake. So I walk up to this acquaintance of mine and I'm just like, hey, guess what? I wrote a book. And they're like, okay. And I'm just like, is something wrong? And they're just like, no, don't worry about it. Since you guys don't know me in person, or some of the people watching may not know me in person, I'm pretty much the type of person that's like, if there's something wrong, I would like it if you were to tell me so I can help. I don't want to make people upset. And when I asked this person, was it something that I did, they were just like, yes. And then I was obviously like, well, tell me then so I can fix it at least, or attempt to fix it. At that moment, I was completely naive and did not even consider the fact that it could be something to do with my book. And I was like, well, if you have something to say, just say it, get it off your chest. They told me, and what they had said to me was, I wish you would stop parading around the cafeteria, just boasting about how you've published this book and self-published this book, calling yourself a writer, and just saying all of these things that, is wrong, because that's not the way it's supposed to be done. And just to make sure that they were saying what I thought they were saying, I was just like, what do you mean the way it's supposed to be done? So they told me, well, you're supposed to draft a novel and you're supposed to edit it 100 times, and it's supposed to go through beta readers, and you're supposed to submit it to literary agents, and then eventually, you get published through a traditional publishing company, or I guess the big five, like Simon & Schuster and HarperCollins, I think. All those big named publishing companies like Random House and whatnot. This person pretty much revealed to me their mindset is that traditional publishing is the only way that you can truly be an author, the only way you can truly be a writer. Was I upset on the inside? A little. Was it because of the comment or the way they had said it? Not really as much as that, as it was the fact that this was pretty much happening writer to writer. We want to achieve the same thing in the end, which is pretty much a published book, and yet somehow I was getting hate for it. I don't know if it was jealousy or envy or narrow-mindedness or basic pessimism. I'm not really sure, and I do know that this person does have a bit of a pessimism issue, but I don't really hold them to that. But it was just kind of shocking and something that I was just not prepared for at that moment, especially since we had been pretty close before them and I had helped them so much through other things. Just to give some background on what I mean when I say this person was also a writer, I'll tell you a bit about them, I suppose. This person was a person that has been writing since probably when most people start writing, which is around middle school. Well, some people can discover their path in life or their talents, and this person's talent was obviously writing, and they had known that they wanted to be a writer and get published way longer than I had. So they'd been on this for years, and they'd been practicing writing and coming up with stories. I don't know if they have any finished stories, and I do mean finished, not published. I mean finished stories. I don't know if they have any finished stories or whatnot, but I do know that the person also wrote poems and whatnot. But I guess in their mind they were kind of comparing me to all the struggles and obstacles that they had been doing, or how they held writing in their mind, and comparing a person like me to that, because I published the book within I want to say I published The Days Are on Fell within a time period of 6 to 8 months. And I mean, I did a lot of research on it and the whole path and how you should do it and how to avoid mistakes in YouTube videos, asking around and interviewing people and things of that nature. But the fact that I had done it so quickly compared to the mindset of a person who says that the only way to truly be published is to take years and years making it perfect. And as I bluntly as possible told this person, if you focus on perfection, you're never going to get it published because you're never going to get it finished. And it was just a very strange altercation altogether. Something I was not prepared for, something I know other aspiring writers and soon to be authors are also not going to be prepared for, to hear something like that from a friend of theirs, which is kind of why I made this video. I don't want you guys to be surprised if something like this happens to you. I want you to know that you're not in this alone. It does happen, even from other writers. It happens with family sometimes and strangers. I don't know exactly why people react like this sometimes, but just try your best to not impulsively react to it. Don't take it to heart too much. You wrote a book and you've probably published it or whatever. You finished something that you worked really hard on, and you have the right to be proud of the work that you put in and the obstacles you overcame in the process of doing this. Do not let anyone, I don't care how close they are to you, don't let anyone get in the way of you being happy and proud and wanting to share your book baby or anything that you make to the world. Don't let anyone get in the way of that. That's basically all I had to say. Aside from that, if you want to read my books or support me, you can buy both of my books on Amazon. This was the debut novel that I had, The Days Are on Fell, which will be linked below, and the one that was talked about in this story that I just told you guys. And this is The Realm Painter, which is my second book. These are both standalones, and they are also both fantasy. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this prepped you for any altercations that you may have in the future. And check out my other videos on this channel, and have a good day and work on your novel. Bye!